What's up, Womack Nostalgia? Dave here with a review of 10 second mini album Stunner 10, one of the members of NCT subunit WayV, as well as the SM supergroup Super M. 10, significant K-pop figure, his second solo release following his self-titled EP debut from last year. And yeah, 10 of course is the centerpiece of WayV, and WayV to me is the most interesting and just for me the most fun to listen to aspect of NCT. I've long been on the record that I find the NCT project very obtuse and hard to grasp because it's just so vast. There's so many members, so many different subunits, different types of music always coming out. It's hard to really get a handle on it for me. But WayV has stood out to me just because I think the music's been really good, especially the upbeat, more hip hop leaning K pop that they do make has just kind of been my style. Of course, WayV specifically targets China more so than the traditional Korean market. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with why I like the music more, but it is a note. And I will say the last WayV album, Frequency, which came out at the end of last year, around the end of November, I was late on that. And when I did finally hear it, I really loved that record. I thought there was a lot of great album cuts on there. Frankly, one of those would have made my top 10 K-pop songs of the year. I just didn't hear it in time, so that was a miss for me. And I'm certainly going to be paying a lot more attention to WayV because I also really like this 10 album. 10 second mini album Stunner is one of my favorite K-pop releases of the year thus far, and the main reason is because the instrumentation, the arrangements, the production on this album is very impressive. Just so many touches, there's so many layers. It's some of the most interesting beats you'll hear across the genre. And to his credit, 10 certainly holds up his end of the bargain vocally, giving us a lot of the wavy hip hop we've come to expect. Title track Stunner has this smooth bass drum, but really impressive vocal progression from 10. I love the accents on it, going to a higher register with the chorus with these great drums, harmonizing a little bit, rapping on the second verse, a banger bridge on Stunner, something that continues throughout this album. The second song, Enough for Me, excellent hook. In general, I think lyrically, very sensual, very vibey, but I think it's really effective and it stays upbeat, it stays interesting. The beats never outstay their welcome. I was really impressed with this. Enough for Me really straddles the line between repetitiveness and annoyingness, but it's just catchy enough to, I think, really be a great hook in the end. And I think Ten's flow on this is super vibey. I love the sentiment of the song, the horns, the keys, the beat in general, super funky. And another memorable bridge, the drums get a bit sparser at that point. There's a lot going on with these tracks, but they really hold together. Lead single Bambola, a lot of rap on this, but interestingly again, tons of distortion and auto-tune, both production-wise and Ten's vocals. I love the way the beat kind of swells with the vocals. It's just an interesting song, the arrangement, the structure of it. I think the rap on this is less good than on Enough for Me. Just not my favorite flow from 10 overall, but I still appreciate this song just because it's so quirky. Sweet as Sin, another big highlight for me. I love the way the drum flows. Great rap to start the track. Then you have this like cadence with the kick drum on the chorus. I think the vocal beat match on the chorus is so good. Again, another great bridge. The synths really hit, those snares pick up. And then the last chorus of the song, the drums are hitting harder during it. Again, I think really impressive beat. Waves also stands out to me because it's a softer, probably more romantic leaning song, but it's still very upbeat. The drums are still really good. And another great chorus once again. And then lastly, you have Butterfly, which is the first beat I don't love. I think it's just kind of a bit messy, especially when Ten's vocals swell. I just think there's a little bit too much going on in this track. It just doesn't really come together for me. And then, of course, it ends with an English version of Stunner, which, of course, is completely unnecessary, as we know. But yeah, shout out 10. I'm certainly going to be paying a lot more attention to WayV. I've always been checking for their music, and I've listened to everything they've put out, but it was never like appointment listening for me. I would like get to it when I would get to it, and that has certainly changed between Frequency, this 10 album. I'm going to be checking for WayV stuff as soon as they drop. Let me know, though, what did you think of 10's Stunner? What was your favorite aspect of it? Let me know. Favorite song? Let me know. And for more music reviews, more K-pop reviews, subscribe. And I'll see you next time.